In order to improvise over a song, it helps to know the chord changes in advance. Once you know the chord changes, then you know what scales you can use, the available notes you can play, and any chord substitutes. So we are going to analyze the song All the Things You Are by Jerome Kern in preparation for improvising over it in a later video. So here is the sheet music for it. First, you should realize that if you search for this song on the internet, and in this case I'm using the song in the key of A flat, you may get a different version than the one that I'm using. You may get one with different chords or with more interesting extensions, but the principle that I'm using here is still the same for the analysis. One way for finding key changes is to scan for major chords which may indicate key centers. These would either be 1 or 4 chords in the key, or you can scan for 5-1 or 2-5-1 progressions, which will help in establishing what the key changes are. And the knowledge of common jazz chord progressions will help, as they are used a lot in different songs. You do not need to start from the beginning and take each chord one after the other. You can scan through and find chord progressions which make sense to you and then fill in the missing chords. This will make sense as we go through this. A song will usually start and end in the main key. The key signature tells us that this music is in the key of A flat, so we would expect this song to start and end in the key of A flat. So we need to find out if this is true in this case. Looking at the chords, we soon find A flat major 7, which is the root or tonic chord of the key of A flat. We know that the 2-5-1 progression appear often in standards, so we keep this in mind, and working back we see that this is the case here. We have the B flat minor 7, which is a 2 chord, E flat 7, which is the 5 chord, and A flat major 7, which is the 1 chord. So we can write these down with the key, as it definitely indicates that we are in the key of A flat here. It starts with F minor 7, and we know that this is a 6th chord, while D flat major 7 is the 4 chord in the key. So the progression here is 6, 2, 5, 1, 4. Now we come to G7, which is not in the key of A flat, but is followed by C major 7, and instantly we see that this is a 5-1 progression in the key of C. So there's a key change. We can write this down as well. 5-1 progressions can be changed into 2-5-1 progressions, so you may see this here in other versions. The next chord is C minor 7, which is not in the key of C. So we have to find what key is the song moving to. Scanning along the chords, you will notice a dominant 7 followed by a major 7. If you look closer, you will see that the F minor 7, B flat 7 and E flat major 7 form another 2-5-1 in the key of E flat major. And again, the C minor 7 and A flat major 7 are the 6 and 4 chords respectively. So we have a repeat of the first line given another 6, 2, 5, 1, 4 progression in the key of E flat major. It is common to find a major 7 chord change into a minor 7 chord, or chords changing chromatically. Now we come to D7, which is not in the key of E flat major, but is followed by G major 7. And we see that this is a 5-1 progression followed by a 2-5-1 in the key of G major. So we can write this down. Now we come to F sharp minor 7, which is not in the key of G major. But once again, scanning across, we see another 2-5-1 progression in the key of E major. So again, we can write this down. The more you improvise over 2-5-1 progressions in different keys, the more these chord progressions will become easily recognizable. Now we come to the C7 sharp 5, which is not in the key of E, but scanning along we come to another 2-5-1 in the key of A flat major. However, the C7 sharp 5 is not in A flat major or E major. It should be looked upon as a secondary dominant for the following chord. A secondary dominant is not the natural dominant of the scale, but is made by altering a chord into a dominant 7. It happens again in the turnaround at the end of the song, but there it does not have the raised fifth. It was because the C7 is the 5 chord of the F minor 7. So if you imagine the F minor 7 as being the 1 chord, then the C7 would be the 5 chord. We write this as 5 of 6. It is the 5 chord of the F minor 7, which is the 6th chord in the following progression. The B flat minor 7, E flat 7 and A flat major 7 together with the F minor 7 and D flat major 7 is a copy of the first line. So we're back to the key of A flat major. Now from here it gets a bit complicated. From the D major 7 it moves to D minor 7, which is not in the key of A flat major. So if you scan along you come across another 2-5-1, B flat minor 7, E flat 7 and A flat major 7, and the last two chords are a turnaround designed to get us back to the start of the music, to the F minor 7. So the C7 is the 5 of 6 as we had before, and the G7 is a 2 of 6, but there are other ways of viewing these chords. So going back, we have a major 7 changing to a minor 7, which is common. So we have 4 major 7 to 4 minor 7 to 3 minor 7 to flat 3 diminished 7, which all sounds nice together, which then leads to 2 minor 7, so a bit of chromaticism. So apart from the C7 sharp 5 and the D flat minor 7, C minor 7 and B diminished 7 progression, the rest of the song is quite straightforward. The structure of the song is in the form AABA. Usually the AABA structure has 32 bars, each section containing 8 bars. The A section is repeated at the start, then there is a bridge which is different to add some contrast, then the song returns to the A section. Here, in All the Things You Are, you have a modified AABA structure. You have the same A sections with the second section transposed down a perfect fourth. Both sections have the pattern 6, 2, 5, 1, 4 in one key, then 5, 1 in another key. The bridge consists of 2 2 5 1s in different keys, ending on the C7 sharp 5 to lead us back to the A section. In the song, the melody is different in the bridge, giving some contrast. Then the last section has the same first 5 bars as the first A section. It has the common jazz progression of 4 major 7, 4 minor 7, 3 minor 7 and flat 3 diminished 7, ending on a 2-5-1 with a turnaround G7, C7 to get us back to the start of the song. So improvising, you can use the scales of the keys mentioned, though you probably want to play a different scale over the C7 sharp 5 and over the short progression containing a B diminished 7 chord. In closing, the melody of the song strongly follows the chord progressions by mainly consisting of guide tones. Guide tones are the 3rd and 7th notes of the chord. They are the strongest notes which identify changes between the minor 7th, major 7th and dominant 7th chords. You can see that the melody of the song consists mainly of these 3rd and 7th notes of the chord, and that is why the melody works so well with the chord changes. We will explore this further when we look at improvising over the song.